This video I'll be comparing the Epever Triron 422110N charge controller with a generic Chinese controller. So at the moment the PV is generating 27.6, 5.2 amps, and a power of around 144 watts. So the battery percentage is 64%. So we'll check, we'll compare with a generic Chinese one. So I'll show you the Chinese inverted controller that I'm comparing it with. So let's comparing with the controller with this MPPT controller. This is a generic Chinese controller. All the input ports. It is rated 60 amps. So the Epever is also a 24 volt 40 amps controller. But this is rated 60 amp and a maximum of 48 volts. So we'll compare now. So again, before I go, let's check what the PV is delivering. PV is delivering 27.5 volt, 5.3 amps, so a power rating of around 146, 145 averaging. So let's see. Wired up this generic controller. So at the moment, the PV is 29 volt and it's generating 80 watts from the panel, and charging the battery with 3.1 amps. So the PV is 70 watts. So unlike the Epever, that the same sunshine is giving us 140 watts, because the Epever is doing enough to convert the maximum the voltage to current. So dropping the PV voltage to around 27.5 so that it can have more current to charge the battery. So we're having 77 watts. And on the Epever, the minimum we have for today is 110. So oftentimes the temperature is 29. Charging the battery with 3.0 amps and 25.4 volts. Again, this actually doesn't show the current, but that can be calculated by dividing this with this. So when you divide this is around 3 amps, maximum of 3 amps. You can see. So I'll connect back to the Epever again to check. On the Epever, you can see it's not even getting to 29 volts, 27.8, 27.5. That's the minimum I'll be using, the minimum. And you can see 5 amps. So and the power is 134 watts. You can see the Epever is doing a better job. Let's show the battery. This is still charging at 25.5, unlike that one was charging at 25.1, 25.3. And the current of that was 3.1. This is charging at 5.2 amps. So most of the times the Chinese controllers are actually PWM and not MPPT. You can see how an MPPT works now. So at the end of the test, here we have to the left side we have the Epever controller, and to the right side we have the generic Chinese one. So subjecting both to the same condition, you can see that the Epever generate a panel voltage, have a panel voltage that is varying from 27 to 28, so it's averaging around 27.5 after taking the data for a short period of time, and the current of around 5 to 5.8. So I have everything here you see is an average. I have an average power of 146.8 watts. So and the battery is actually getting around 145.35 watts, which according to what they say, the efficiency at times is very close. When you take about averaging it, you can see the efficiency is very high. And when you look at the generic one, is getting a power maximum of 81, and the battery is getting 75.9. So it's very obvious that the Epever is a quality, and it's actually expensive for a reason. Both of them are subject to the same conditions, same bright sunlight, and the data are taking over a period of time before actually log this. Thank you.